play, and then you bring us in.
What's good, everybody? We're back, Juice Boys, with a very, very lovely special guest.
Who do we got?
We got Lara Whiteley from Specialty. Probably
Don't
one of
say
my
it.
favorite portfolios. Stop.
I was
No.
gonna say, I think you say one of your favorite reps.
No,
You'd be
I
like,
can't say that.
Everybody's gonna be mad.
I will never admit that.
They're all
on the
gonna be
air.
mad.
I'll never admit that on
But
the air.
you're definitely top three.
Yeah, and they are the ones
Definitely.
who bring in very specific SKUs for our group. They are very, very close friends of ours. So we're happy to have her on today.
Thank
Lara.
you for having me. So again, thank y'all for having me.
Of course.
I brought 2 wines. One from upstate New York in the Finger Lakes, and then one from the Canaries. So seemingly nothing similar about those two. Seemingly.
All right. So before we go from there,
Yes.
we're gonna taste Finger Lakes first.
Yep.
Okay. What is Finger Lakes normally known for?
Riesling, Cab Franc.
Is
You'll
it
all,
Cab Franc for real?
Yeah.
I thought they were always just known for Riesling. Cab
very
Franc
much
too?
Riesling, but also Cab Franc.
Damn, you got a Cab Franc from
I
there
do.
to drink?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They do one.
They do.
Yeah.
They do
what's
one.
this one?
Also a lot of Bordeaux varietals, so like Cabernet,
Really?
Merlot, yeah.
Why?
So I don't really know the Cabernet influence. I don't
Okay.
know the Cabernet
'Cause everywhere in
influence
America does it.
personally.
Yeah, but like so
All
you know
Phillies go
when you
Cabernet.
when you think of the country and the wine that's good from it. So you go obviously California first, then you go Oregon, Washington, and then in my opinion 4 is New York and it's Finger Lakes. So like, and for me I've always thought it was Riesling because it's cold and it just makes sense. But now you're talking Cab Franc and you're talking Bordeaux varietals. That's crazy to me.
Well, Virginia does a lot of Bordeaux varietals too, but they're
Have you had a
obviously more
Virginia
south.
one?
Yeah,
You like
there's
them?
some that are killer.
Really?
There are some that are good.
Some are
Really?
killer. There's a rosé I had that was insane.
I just feel like
So
they're not
good.
there yet though. When you throw a Virginia wine on your menu.
No, I mean they're not. I mean here definitely not. Maybe up there in New York, maybe San Fran,
Yeah.
those places, but not here yet. But I know a couple people that have them on their menus. But I know they also are big in hybrid varietals,
Yeah.
which are probably big in the Finger Lakes too, right?
You know what I had from Virginia that was delicious? A Tanat.
You just looked at your water glass and I was like, don't say the water.
No, it was a Tanat and it was fucking delicious.
Yeah, Virginia makes killer Tanat. They do. But I do say, hey, Tanat's one of my favorite grapes, period.
You gotta chew that shit.
You do. I think it's underrated.
Legit chew.
I love it. So.
All right, so talk to me. What's this wine?
So you mentioned hybrids.
Mhm.
So for the Finger Lakes, in my opinion, the only way, and in this winemaker's opinion, this is where I learned this from. Let me back up. So this is Osmo. This is a winemaker named Ben Riccardi, and the grape varietal is Cayuga White.
He's dying.
Ooh,
He might be Italian. I don't know.
Riccardi? Maybe.
most of them are.
Nice.
So this is a French American hybrid grape, and Ben says, and I believe him, that the future of the Finger Lakes is going to be hybrids because all the
Oh, wow.
all the vinifera, the Riesling, the Cab and Merlot, yada yada yada, can't survive too much further off the banks of the lakes. So to be able to have something cold hardy enough to survive off that temperate water, like that tempering water, you're going to have to go hybrid.
Right. I'd imagine, I mean, granted it gets cold there, but it's pretty humid there too, no? Because they are by the lakes.
Dude,
I'm not sure. I
it's
mean, I
humid
think
anywhere
so,
on the East
but
Coast.
Yeah, like it's the East Coast.
It's all
It's
humid.
so, I imagine too with the vinifera species, it's
And
just
it's surrounded
the mold,
by-
everything
Mhm.
like that
And
too.
it's surrounded by forest, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
Yeah, that just keeps that
Humid.
humidity in there.
Oh
and
yeah.
the lakes just keep it such a perfect temperature though, season to season.
Right.
So that's why the vinifera thrive. But
Nice.
so I love his story because when he first got started in wine, he wasn't real big on the hybrids. Like out of college, he kind of was poo-pooed on them, I guess. And then he worked in New Zealand for a bit. He worked at City Winery. I forget in which state.
I always forget they're in other states.
Mhm.
Same.
And he really started to realize that if he wanted the biodiversity to stay the same in his hometown, Ithaca, you really have to look at the hybrids.
Wow. Interesting.
But this is wine has been in our portfolio forever. I think you guys worked with it back in the day.
I did, and I drank it prior to working with the company. I don't remember what.
So is this considered a pet nat?
Yeah.
Yep.
I still have a picture on my phone from a meal I cooked with it because I went and picked this
Of
up.
this?
Yeah, years ago when we our first apartment in Atlanta. I made this with, it had to have been fish, but it was I remember going to Hop City to pick it up. Hop City Grog was where I picked it up, and I was like, that's a sick fucking label,
Jesus
I'm buying
Christ.
it. And it was delicious. It was killer. I remember I've loved this wine ever since.
What does this go for in a liquor store?
This would sit at like $19.99 on the shelf.
Really?
Which is totally worth it.
Wow.
Because it's not, and also, I mean, off the nose, it's not just a terribly done pet nat.
Yeah.
It's not mousy. It's not bready. It's just very clean smelling, which is nice.
Is that normally where you find a lot of Finger Lake wines in that region, or do they normally go higher in price?
So it depends. I mean, I've seen them a lot higher in price.
Really?
The ones that we work with personally, because the ones that we work with sit 15 to 30 on a retail shelf, but they
Okay.
can get a lot higher. We've seen some that we've tasted and thought about bringing into the book, but we just don't know how that'd be received here.
Right.
Yeah.
If we were in New York, obviously it'd be different.
Yeah.
But
I'm curious. I should have did that when I was in New York a month ago.
What, do you Finger Lake wines?
Well, just like see the prices of Finger Lake wines, because I know they're not expensive here, because you kind of can't, because people will be like, why am I buying wine like that?
Yeah.
But up there, I imagine they know, so it would have been interesting.
Do you enjoy like Finger Lake Riesling?
I do a lot.
Really?
Yeah, very much so.
What's the difference between that and like a German Riesling?
I mean,
Does it tend to be sweeter or no? Like, or does it tend to be like a lot more fruit forward? Because like obviously the German Rieslings, you have the off dries, but then you have like the ones that taste like you're eating candy.
Right. So
Yeah.
you can, I mean, sweetness levels, you have a whole different range in the Finger Lakes the same way. But for German Rieslings, it depends what region you're looking at. But in my mind, it's higher acids and it's a little bit more mineral drive than the Finger Lake Rieslings. But Finger Lakes, you're still getting really great acidity. You're still getting some mineral, but you're getting a little bit more fruit.
Yeah,
It's like the old world versus new
Right.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is very typical. The minerality just is not there, but yeah, I imagine the Alps and things like that kind of play a role into the minerality of that wine. Nice.
It's awesome.
I'm excited to try this because
Yeah.
this is a vintage, right?
2021.
2021. So
Is
the last
Is that current?
Yep.
2021?
last one I had was like 2018 or 2017, so long time ago.
I feel like he's just really dialed it in year after year. It's
Real
getting better and
funk,
better.
man.
Dude, I don't think it's that funky.
I got it on the nose.
Yeah.
Give it a swirl and give it a smell. I got a lot of funk on that one.
I get a little bit. Oh, 9.5%, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's it?
This is gonna crush it.
Oh man.
Brunch wine. But to your point, I mean, as far as pet nuts are
Dude,
concerned,
that's oyster
they can
wine.
get way funkier.
Oh yeah, of course. And that's what gives
acidic.
pet nats
I want food.
a bad name. Like, there's some really good pet nats out there, but people see pet nat on the menu and they're like, I don't know, and I'm like, it's fine. I would have recommended if it was full.
Yeah,
Right.
but
You know,
give it like everything, dude. Give it what, 2 more years, and everybody's gonna be like, "Can I have a pet nat?"
I'm
'Cause
sure.
that's what everybody does. Because like,
Sure.
it probably took forever for champagne. It probably took. Remember when rosé wasn't cool?
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember when
I think
Riesling
orange
wasn't
wine
cool?
will be cool before
Yeah,
the pet nats will.
Yeah, it's
and then
getting there.
eventually the pet nats will take.
yeah.
After
But
take
also,
backseat.
you got to remember where we are.
Yeah.
New York, this shit's cool already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like and San Francisco and LA, and because Atlanta's not a, in my opinion, it's not a wine town yet, and we'll get there eventually. But like here, people still go cocktails first.
Yep.
And like, I mean, look at our restaurants alone. The only one wine centric right now is Bostone.
You know what blows me away about Atlanta though is how much bubbles don't sell. For like the club culture here and how big clubbing is and all that in Atlanta.
Yeah, but that
just
stuff's
blows me
like
away.
the Ace of Spades sells. That
Well,
stuff
yeah, that
sells,
stuff sells,
you
but
know?
like,
If it gets wrapped about, then.
yeah,
that's what. Yeah, if people spit about it, then it gets.
But
sold.
also think about like
Shit, Action Bronson talks about.
Like you know who probably sells a good amount of bubbles? Bacchanalia, because they have caviar service. Marcel, because they have caviar
That's
service.
true.
Like,
I guess
feel
we
like
don't
if
really
you have those,
caviar.
like caviar, you know, I mean, you can think about New York City. You can name 12 restaurants, all with 2 Michelin stars, all have 4 dishes with caviar on it,
Yeah.
and they're selling bubbles.
Yeah.
You know, and people just, you know how people are, man. You hear one, you want the other. Oh, can I have caviar? Oh, I'll take a glass of Krug at
You know what I like with
$450
caviar?
a glass.
Which I learned is actually like the classic way to do it because Russia. A very good vodka with
I
caviar
believe it.
is fantastic.
I believe it.
It's really good because it literally just clean. Like obviously wine can do the same, but I've had like a really good. I think it was a Beluga,
Yeah.
like that really expensive Russian shit. Man, it was so good with caviar.
Yeah.
It's creamy. It's like everything that the caviar doesn't. Totally does the job.
So what are you getting on the nose on this? other than some, I'm getting funky. You don't get it?
Dude, no, I
Weird.
get it. It was a touch, but it was more like a yeasty funk, which I was not expecting. Like brioche, kind of like buttery, like sweet cream. But I'm getting way more of just fruit.
Yeah, but I'm getting apricot.
Which, ironically, yes,
like
apricot,
apricots.
totally. Which is ironic because she did say it's instead of that mineral kind of gaseous smell, you're gonna get more fruit.
Another thing underappreciated. Apricot's so underappreciated.
Oh my god, I love apricots.
So underappreciated. You never see it.
You know, I never
never see fresh.
I never bought an
It's only dry.
apricot this year.
Really?
Screwed up. Never bought it.
You know what else I really like that nobody likes? Persimmons. Love persimmons.
You don't come across them very often.
No.
I don't know why.
They grow. They
I don't
grow
like
here.
persimmons.
Yeah.
The baby ones grow here. I don't know what those are called.
I've never
The baby
had.
ones grow here.
I mean, I could have just had a bad one. I've only tried like an actual persimmon once or twice, but one of my old bosses, his wife used to make a persimmon bread. That was basically like monkey bread with persimmons in it. Oh my god,
Delicious.
It was insane. That I look forward to every year. But otherwise, I've never had a persimmon that I like. I didn't spit that. I can't spit that. That is so good.
I mean, pet nats. I might get canceled for saying this, but they're kind of like Champagne Junior.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, that's about.
Yeah. No, it's true though.
I love how she goes, might get canceled, but yeah.
No,
No, it's
it's
true. I mean, it really is. Like, I love pet nats. I mean, again, there's a fine line. Sometimes I pick up a bottle just because I bought it because of the label. Because pet nats tend to have the funkier, cooler labels. So whenever I see a label that jumps out at me, I'm going to buy it. And sometimes I open it and I'm like, who let this leave the winery?
Yeah.
Like, this is not good.
Yeah.
And then you try to let it stay cold and open up for like 30 minutes and it's still like, that's not good. And this is what gives pet nat a bad name.
And but you kind of lose complete control. I mean, once you put that cap on it, it's like
You never know what's going to happen.
So, because you have to anticipate that a lot of people don't know what it is, I don't know who wants to take this, but from start to finish, what exactly is a pet nat?
So pet nats are essentially one fermentation happening in the bottle, whereas
As opposed to champagne is what?
is two.
Okay.
So with champagne, you're taking a finished wine, bottling it, adding some sugar, adding some yeast, and then capping it and allowing the carbonation to happen. With pet nats, you're taking a partially fermented wine, it hasn't finished fermenting at all, bottling it, sealing it, and allowing it to finish on its own. So once you seal it, it's like off to the races and it's going to do what it's going to do. So that's why you see so much bottle variation from bottle to bottle.
Is it weird that I appreciate, how do you say, Cremant?
Cremant is
Cremant
delicious.
stuff. I appreciate that first when it comes to sparkling wines. I'm going to go on, I fucking despise Prosecco. I'm going to go with that one, Pet Nat 2, because I really do enjoy Pet Nats. I'm not a huge champagne guy. It's a 3 for me.
Okay.
No,
I'd rather drink club soda. I'm not lying.
champagne
I'm
for
just
me
not a
doesn't.
champagne
I gotta
guy.
For the price, champagne
Well,
doesn't do
but
anything.
that's
for me.
my-
Someone's giving me free champagne.
Well, that's my beef, right? When it comes to wine right now in this culture is people have a tendency to like go toward, like for instance, I saw a bill that they some NFL team took the rookie out for dinner and then left him with the bill. But
Yeah, I saw
they
that.
drank like 10 bottles of Screaming Eagle. Like that wine, I've had it. It's
not
never
worth it.
done anything for me.
No, was it
for-
like 2,500 in the restaurant?
I don't know. He got 10 of them. It was like 40 grand.
Yeah.
But like,
That's
but
a
like.
signing bonus.
But yeah, well, that's why I think that's hilarious, right? But for me, like some of the wines we're getting from Scola, I'll take that over to Screaming Eagle because it's natural, it's different. I feel like every time you go and you get the same exact thing, they always taste the same.
Well,
Like at Stag's Leap, they got 7 SKUs.
Yeah.
Every fucking
and
Stag's
they
Leap
all
tastes
taste
the
the
same.
same.
It's fruit forward, fruit bomb.
Oak.
You're sitting there, oak, nothing but oak, and then by the time you're done, you can't even taste your fucking
By the
steak.
time you're done, you got a headache from the dosage they
Yeah,
use.
for sure.
Well, that's the other thing is what people don't realize about those wines is that they literally, it's not like the Scuola di Vinos or the natural wines where they cultivate yeast on their own. They're literally calling up yeast banks and going, hey,
What do you got?
this year was our best seller. Do you still have that yeast we used from 2017 or whatever? And the yeast bank goes, yes. If not, they can create it again or try to replicate it as best as possible. And then they just pump it back in there along with mega purples and all these dyes and colors and extra sugar and shit. Like, it's crazy. What a lot of people don't know, that's the crazy part. And then they blame a headache on, I can't drink red wine because it gives me headaches. I'm like,
Yeah, of
that's
course.
not necessarily it. Now, most of your headaches come from you're just dehydrated, you didn't drink enough water prior, or you haven't eaten enough salt. Second is the fact that there's histamines as a byproduct of fermentation. You could be allergic to a very specific histamine that one wine produced, which happened to be a red wine, and now you say you can't drink red wines for the rest of your life. It's like, no, you should probably try a different one. Like, if you can't drink a French red wine, try Italy. If you can't drink Italy, try Spain. Eventually, there's probably going to be a red wine you can find. But it's not the sulfates, whatever they call them. It's not the fact that it's red or white or anything. It's literally you're dehydrated, you're drinking shit wine,
You're hungover.
or you're just allergic to a histamine. I mean, even though commercial wine is technically a dead product, it's not alive like the natural wines or like a pet nat and things like that, it's still gonna have histamines in there as the byproduct in the liquid, and that's what's gonna give you a headache most of the time. So a lot of people don't realize that. So truth bomb for you.
Can it be specific to certain regions of certain areas? Like, for instance, like for me, what doesn't give me heartburn is Frappatos, Gamay, like things like a Lagrange doesn't give me heartburn. Pinot Noir, Oregon does not give me heartburn.
The case,
everything else, Cabernet gives me heartburn.
It might be the
Barolo
tannin
gives
too.
me heartburn. All that shit gives me
It could
heartburn.
be the tannins in a bigger
Plus,
body.
I'm getting
red.
old, 38. So like maybe that's the thing.
Agita.
Little agita. Plus, I get it at work and then I bring it home with me. I feel like you open a bottle of wine, it's over.
No, that's also the tannic properties could
Yeah.
Because I mean, tannins are part of the grape, and a lot of people think that the only tannin present is resveratrol, which is like the heart healthy one that they tout. Have a glass of red wine a day, resveratrol. But there's also like thousands of other phenolic compounds that are considered to be tannins, and one of those could also mess with you too. I mean, it's the same reason some people I know people that can drink green tea, but they can't drink regular like black tea because they get heartburn.
Really?
So I'm assuming it's going to be tannic related.
You're also getting tannins
from
your barrels.
Right, you get
true,
tannins from barrels.
true.
So like, does bourbon give you heartburn?
Yes, really bad.
Well, that's
Very
American
bad.
oak, but that's the thing. Like, it could be the barrels.
Yeah.
It could be the wood tannins.
So does oaky Chardonnays.
They do give you heartburn.
Yeah, really bad. Maybe it's just oak.
It might be oak. How do you feel when you eat barbecue?
Not good.
I don't either.
But I could eat pizza. No, I feel like shit when I eat pizza.
There's no tannin in pizza. Well,
No.
I guess they're kind of. Yeah, there's tannins. There's leaves, basil.
So,
I don't know. Hey, if you are very inclined in the microbiological
give us a
chemistry world, hit us up.
let me know why I feel like
You give me
shit
the right
all the
answer,
time.
I'll give you a bottle of
Yeah,
wine. How's
that's
that?
You're a doctor, Pat.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
Yeah.
Hit me with a score.
Ooh.
Oh man, this has always been one of my favorites. I mean, I haven't had a lot of Finger Lakes wines, period. So this is always my favorite Finger Lakes
So
wine.
it can't be an even number. It's got to have a decimal.
Oh, it can't be a seven.
Okay.
And it definitely can't be a 7.0. 7 is just always like 7.0 is always like
It's a
a
cop-out.
very safe cop-out thing.
Okay.
So,
It's like
when-
saying something's a B.
Well, yeah. So like when we have staff, I always tell people, I'm like, give me like, we'll be like, oh, they're gonna stage. I was like, cool, give me a score between 1 and 10. Can't use 7.
Mm-hmm.
No decimals. If it's a 6, they're fired. If it's an 8, they stay on, but you're responsible for them. If it's a 10, great, it's gonna be a beast. So,
Okay.
go.
So we're going 1 through 10?
1 through 10. You can use decimals. Can't use 7.0. You can use 7.1, 7.2,
Okay.
6.9, everything.
Okay, so the salesman in me says that this is a 10.
Lies.
But
Do you sell a lot of this?
I do, yeah.
Nice. To where? Like, where can you find it in Georgia?
Oh gosh, I would
Hop
honestly
City
have to
still
look,
gets
but
it?
like probably Vinoteca, Hop City,
nice, yeah.
3 Parks, but any local wine shop that you shop at, I mean, you can ask them for it and they can get it for you. So for me, this is a 9.2, and the reason I knock it down 0.8 is I really love like the mousse on a sparkling wine, and I
Yeah.
like when it lasts a long time, and for me, it just kind of goes away a little bit quicker than I wish
That's
it
a
would.
pet nat thing though too.
Yeah.
A lot of people. That's another reason people don't like pet nats is they're expecting like their mouth to just pile up with foam,
Mhm.
like you're
Yeah.
drinking a champagne, and it's not. It's not supposed to be. But that's another reason people get upset with pet nats. I feel like.
So I guess I just want it to be champagne. Is that
Yeah.
what we're saying?
Yeah, maybe champagne.
The lingering taste of it reminds me of a Jolly Rancher.
Which one?
The lemon
Green
one?
apple.
Maybe, yeah, green
Oh.
apple
Green
for
apple.
sure.
Yeah.
But I want food with it. I always want food with this shit, though. That's a problem.
I meant to leave the house early enough to actually get cheese today.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I don't know what I would pair with this, though. I mean, it's high acid, so it can go with a lot of stuff.
I would love it with shellfish
Yeah.
Mhm.
off the
down.
rip. You know what'd be really good with this? Even though I hate them because they're a waste of it.
It could go up against spice too, which I like because it does have.
Oh, this with
Crawfish.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wait, you've never had crawfish still, right?
Never in my life.
He's never had crawfish. I know.
No.
It's crazy.
I've had crawfish meat. I've never
Okay.
been able to I've never sucked one off.
He's never had
Yeah,
a proper
so-
Jesus Christ.
Cajun boil.
So,
Repeat that.
Nasty, yeah, go real nasty.
So the next
Christ.
the
Juice
next
Boys
episode
After
is
Dark.
road
That's it. I
trip.
was like, fuck. Here we
Juice
go.
Boys After Dark.
Great. Great.
So what was
So new
y'all's
OnlyFans.
score?
Mine's wait, can I use a 9 even? Yeah, I can, right?
No.
Oh, no evens, period. Yeah, 9-1.
Really?
Well, you have a 9-2.
I did 9 too.
Damn, I go 8-7.
Yeah, I'll go
I'm
9.
gonna tell you why. Because I've had better pet nats. Like that one that you brought in that's got the 3 dudes on it. And it's from Australia.
3 dudes on it from Australia.
Yeah, and I got a bottle for the opening of a lychee. Somebody gave it to me for a lychee's opening. 3 dudes are on it.
The 3
No,
way?
not 3.
No.
No, not 3 dudes. It's Screaming Something, I think it is. It's got like a face on it.
Oh, Weeping Wand.
That's it.
Screaming. Yeah.
Shit's delicious.
Yeah, those are really good. They're from Australia.
Yeah, that's delicious. That and it's like that's to me is like a 9-1, 9-2.
Did you try it?
Yeah.
I haven't had that one.
It's
in a
great.
while. It's Nero d'Avola, the rosé, or is it a white?
It was white.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah, that stuff's good.
But
Have y'all
even
ever scored anything a 10?
no,
Not yet.
no, I'm not there. Yet.
Not yet.
But there was also
It's gonna be hard for us to
I
score
don't know.
a 10,
I
I
don't know
feel
who
like.
brought it to us, but there's those 2 pet nats that I like on the Grana list that are delicious.
Oh, that's because one of them has your name on it.
No, the one that has my name on it is at
Pashka.
Alici.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Wasn't it Agrana though?
No, I don't think it was ever.
Pashka from
The Casa
Casa
Bianchi.
Bianchi.
Yeah.
But he likes the frick, right?
Yeah, the frick
Yeah, the
is delicious.
Fiano.
That's you guys, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
shit's
sparkling
delicious.
Fiano.
I didn't want to say who it was, just in case it wasn't
It's me.
you.
Yeah,
no,
that-
but the frick is fucking crack.
The frick is freaking
Frick
good.
is freaking crack.
The
Frick is freaking
Talking
crack.
about acid on that one. That
Right?
is
Oh my
high
god.
acid.
So
Yeah,
but
that-
see, like that to me
but
is
that's-
that to me is like a mid-9. That's like a 9.4, 9.5.
So that's
Shit's
the
delicious.
that's the thing though. For me as the beverage director, if I'm hand selling at a table, that one's a hard sell because
Oh,
it
of
is
course.
pretty bready. Like
Of course.
a lot of when I say bready, I mean like Brettanomyces, which is a byproduct / bacteria of yeast that gives kind of things like a funky smell. That one's there.
Yeah.
And it takes like a good 30 minutes of chilling in an ice bath, just waiting to kind of air off. And sometimes when people want to drink sparkling, they just want to get right to it. That's the issue I have with selling it. But when I get that table, it's like, hey, we don't mind a little funk. I'm like, great.
Perfect.
You ever have a sparkling
Drink
Fiano?
this.
No? Cool. Try this. So I love that wine. But I think I would still take this over that.
Really?
I like pet nats that make me just want to keep drinking. Because that's most of the time when I'm drinking a pet nat is outside in the heat. I rarely have it with food. If I
How
do,
often are you drinking a pet nat?
basically only in the summer or spring. Like,
How often are you drinking a pet nat?
also my wife's pregnant right now,
Yeah.
or else we'd probably we love pet nat. We just haven't been able to polish
Yeah.
a bottle off in a minute.
Yeah. I mean, every couple months. I mean, I trend more towards
I prefer still
Cava,
white.
Cremant, Champagne. I just like that real bready.
Next time,
Not Bretty, but
next time
bready.
you're on, can you just bring nothing but Cremant?
Yeah.
Oh,
Please.
Yes.
oh man, that one I had last
That'd be
week.
Fantastic.
We could blind taste
Ooh, yeah,
sparkling
yeah,
wines.
yeah, like that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Oh, now you want to drink sparkling?
Well, I mean,
But
I'm
not
blind.
Prosecco.
No Prosecco.
No prosecco.
If you bring it, I would bring it, and if I vote it as one, don't even tell me. Just keep it to yourself. Because I
Okay.
don't ever want to drink Prosecco as like a...
I have one prosecco that actually like I would easily buy in a store. It's on Alici's menu, but it tastes like champagne.
Okay.
It's insane.
Because that's
Nino
gonna be me.
Franco Rustico, and it's not expensive
Yeah,
at all.
yeah, yeah.
That shit's good, man.
That's gonna be me. I'm like, I
That's what
fucking hate
Winston Dan is
Prosecco,
in
and I
it.
vote it one.
Oh, is it?
That's gonna
I
be me.
think so.
Oh.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, it is national, so that makes sense
Yeah.
if it is them.
But also, does Prosecco fluctuate in like high price points as well as like
There's
champagne?
single
right?
vineyard high.
Is there? All right, so I'll probably like Prosecco then.
Okay.
Just don't bring me like this stuff you pop on. My mom and dad pop on New Year's Eve.
That's fair.
Oh no, that's Asti Spumante.
$4 from fucking
Yeah.
Total Wine.
That's my mom's rule. Every New Year's, she
Lamarca?
doesn't want anything but Asti Spumante for martini and
Dude,
rose.
for the first 20 years of my life, we had Andre.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
that stuff's
boy.
rough.
My mom used to chug that shit. It was the only time she got drunk all year.
The first time I ever got
Great.
drunk. I'm not gonna say the age because I don't want to get my parents pinched.
I was 14 and I had amaretto
Oh,
hammered.
yeah, I
Couldn't
still.
eat almonds or drink amaretto for like at least another 15 years.
Damn.
I didn't start eating like anything with almonds or anything like that until I was 30.
Fucking love
Okay.
almonds.
It was
I cannot
awful.
imagine
That the first time I got the first time I got drunk was whiskey and Coke or whiskey and
Nice,
Dr.
yeah.
Pepper.
Fucking delicious.
But then I didn't drink brown spirits for
Yeah.
5-10 years
Yep.
after that.
I still haven't touched Tito's since my 21st birthday.
Remember the
Also,
Captain
it's
and
vodka,
Coke
so there's no
days?
reason.
Mm.
Oh, Captain and Coke? Yeah.
Captain and ginger ale.
And then I graduated from that to Sailor Jerry's and Coke.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, Sailor Jerry's and ginger beer. Talk about a mess.
Oh.
Yeah, my poor wife.
Did
She
you
had to
ever,
help me
did you ever
that
get
night.
into the Black House phase?
Black
What's
The
that?
peppermint liqueur.
That sounds
Rumplemans?
horrible.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
that.
Rumplemans?
But Black House tastes just like it.
Isn't Goldschlager?
Oh no, Black House
pepperminty
is
too?
cherry liqueur.
Which one's Goldschlager? That's
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 pepperminty
disgust,
too,
that's
isn't
straight
it?
disgusting.
It has
Is it?
gold flakes in
It's
it.
got gold flakes.
People
we
would
still
just
don't know if
drink it
they're
for that
real
reason.
or not. They did.
And it sits right next to the Rumplemans in
It
the
does. That's what it is. That's why I'm thinking of it. Yeah, Rumplemans
Yeah.
is I can't. I don't like peppermint or anything like that.
At all.
Like I like mint in my food, like spearmint. Like
Yeah, I,
guess,
don't like mint ice cream.
What is the culinary mint? Mostly it's spearmint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet mint, whatever.
I don't like mint ice cream.
I hate mint chocolate chip. I despise
Despise
it.
it,
It's Alici's favorite. I don't know how she does it. She's tainting my daughter too, because she has like this little play ice cream set at home right now, and one of them is a mint chocolate chip one. She's like, "That's mommy's favorite," and she goes, "Mommy," and I'm like, "No, chocolate or vanilla," and then there's strawberry.
Tell her
Put
it's
three
pistachio.
together, make it a Neapolitan, because I love Neapolitan ice cream.
You know my Meg gets mad at me. You know my
Good times,
go-to
pistachio.
my
That's a good
go-to
call.
candy at the movie theater is Junior Mints. She gets so
Ew,
mad.
man! It's
I love, you know what
gross.
it is? So I like, you know what I do to fuck
Half
with
the
Meg all
reason you
time?
get it is because she ain't gonna eat it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the other thing, like every once in a while, like I don't know, once a year I have this really, really awful like pregnancy craving for a York peppermint patty.
Oh, see, I hate those.
God, I love
That's
them
my
so
mom's
much.
favorite
They're
candy.
so good.
And she used to throw them in the freezer.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah, they're so good.
Can't do it.
Meg's like, what the fuck? You know what she brought home like a month ago
Mint
that I forgot
chocolate's
were good?
not supposed to go together.
Remember the Chunkies? Remember the Chunky candy? It's called Chunky or Chunk,
No.
and it's fruit. It's like pieces of raisins in it with what milk chocolate.
That's a raisinette.
No, it's not small. It's big.
Really?
Yeah, hold on.
I don't know what this is.
Chunky?
Chunky or Chunk? Hold on.
It's a terrible candy name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
They could have did better.
just
with that.
makes sense,
It
right?
doesn't even pertain to raisins whatsoever either. Raisins are like
Right here,
wrinkly
dude.
and decrepit.
Nestle Chunky. You
There's
don't
nothing
remember this?
chunky about them.
You don't remember this?
No.
You've never seen that.
No,
No.
never. That might
You've
only be
never
in the
seen a
North.
Nestle
Hey, that
Chunky.
could also only.
I see it here. Meg just brought one home. You've never seen this.
No, I've never seen that.
For real?
You just
So
showed
it's
your age, sir.
it's a candy bar of milk chocolate raisins and roasted peanuts. It's fucking
Oh,
delicious.
that
Does it have
actually
an
sounds pretty
expiration date on
bomb.
it?
It's delicious. Was
Tell
that?
me what it is again.
It's Nestle Chunky is a candy bar of milk chocolate raisins and roasted peanuts.
That sounds.
You ever
fire.
have the fruit nut bar from Cadbury?
Yeah.
It tastes
Those
just
are
like
delicious.
it, but this is like this thick.
Dude, all right,
phenomenal.
I gotta try one.
Ah, we gotta get some for the office. You're gonna have a little bucket of candy
We
starting
need
tomorrow.
three. We need a 3-tier bucket. We need one with Ferrero Rochers.
One Junior Mints.
All right, so we need 4, and then the other one I need Werther's.
Oh,
Ooh,
the
yeah.
hard Werther's.
The hard
yeah.
Werther's,
Yes.
but I mean, like,
Yeah,
if there was
They're
ever
crack.
something I am so proud to be an old man about,
Yeah, they're so
is
good.
Werther's, because I hate butter pecan ice cream. That shit's just gross.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it. Oh, is that what he
How
was?
do you like it?
An old
Are you a
old
hard,
lady at
hard
heart?
ice cream or soft serve?
Soft serve.
Oh, soft serve
Same,
all
same.
day, all
I
day.
can't do the hard ice cream.
No.
Like,
I mean, I
I'm,
can do it.
I'm sorry, Jenny's and like all those, fucking awful. I hate every one of those ice creams.
I think Jenny's is overpriced
Big
and overrated.
Softy, Big Softy in Summer Hill, all fucking about it.
I've never had Big
Oh,
Softy.
have you been to Big
Uh-uh.
Softy? You gotta go. That's what it's called, right? Big Softy.
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't have a big sweet tooth.
I thought you were gonna say
Really?
I don't have a Big Softy.
Yeah.
I was like, no, really.
No, I think it's called Big Softy. Now I gotta figure this fucking thing. God damn it.
How do we go
Fucking
from
all that
juice
means.
to
I don't know.
oh,
Let's
yeah,
go to the
yeah.
next one. Let's go to the next
Right. So that finishes. Cool. All right.
But I will say Neapolitan ice cream, my favorite without a doubt.
one. All right, it
People
is
call
Big
me an old man
Softy.
because of it.
It is Big Softy, and you gotta get their.
Any relation to Mr. Softy?
No, it's the same.
Okay.
It's the same people that own. Same lady that owns Little Tart.
Oh,
You gotta get the
Probably
classic. You gotta get the classic vanilla
okay.
with the cornflake streusel
Stop.
in a waffle
Sounds really
cone.
good.
It's crack.
She should make a corn
No, like
cone.
Well, dude, you have no idea how good it is. Like it's so good. So the kids get waffle cone, vanilla ice cream, and sprinkles, and the sprinkles are even crack.
I I hate sprinkles. I am not a sprinkle
I
guy
don't like sprinkles
at
either.
all.
Colin
Never
made a
been.
mistake the last time we went, and he got the raspberry and blood orange sorbet, and he said it was trash and threw it in the garbage in front of them. Well, because he for some reason he just thought it was ice cream, and I'm like, it's fucking sorbet, it's ice and fruit. He goes, no, it's gonna be good. Tasted it, he's like, this is trash, and like, looked at her and just goes,
I do
threw it in the
remember
garbage.
being a
Damn,
kid.
son.
I remember being a kid the first time I tried sorbet. I was like, who in their right mind would eat this? But then I think now this is how I know I'm getting older. Where every now and then I'm like, wow, I really want sorbet.
Bro.
Because as a kid, you would never want
Bro,
sorbet.
go to
you know?
go to Lychee and have the limoncello sorbet. Crack.
I know. I still haven't tried it.
Crack.
I know. I gotta
Crack.
try it.
What was the? So my grandmother called it sherbet.
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 Because it's got
Sherbet.
milk in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's got a touch of milk in
It's
it.
gross.
I liked it as a kid.
That
The-
shit's weird
the
to me,
different
bro.
colors, the green and the orange.
You
and
know
the
when we
pink.
had sherbet? We had it on New Year's Eve with champagne poured over it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when you had it.
That's how we had it.
That's how we had
My
it.
mom would sit there and eat it with a spoon.
I thought that
It was the
a
orange
seven-
one. Was it the orange one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The orange Julius or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever? When was the first time you had? We're totally off subject. No, I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
When was the first time you had an affogato? First time I ever had an affogato in my entire life was in Atlanta, Georgia,
Mine too.
in 2015 at the original Little Star,
Okay.
Little Star Provision or Star Provisions, and then it became Little Star.
The first
Star
time
Provisions.
I ever had one was at Condor Chocolates in Athens.
Really?
I heard they make really
Couple
good
years ago.
chocolate.
They really do. They're
Yeah.
bean to bar. So
Ooh, nice.
I don't feel like the United States, we don't have that many bean to bar chocolate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't.
I agree.
I have mad respect for that. My first time was in Atlanta at the place in Shops in Buckhead. Oh, what's that place?
It's a restaurant?
No, it's a little gelato spot.
Oh, I don't know.
Right? Shops in Buckhead? That's where all like the Tom Ford and all the fancy
Yeah.
stores are.
Mhm.
It's in there. I don't remember the name of it. But
No, Shops at Buckhead. Shops at Buckhead is where like Little Bibo Quet and all those.
Yeah,
places are.
that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
and all the designer stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in there. But we used to live on Roswell Road, so it was like a 10-minute drive.
Yeah, right there.
So every now and then my mom would get a
I
craving,
didn't know there was
and
ice
she'd be
cream
like,
shop
"Get in the
there.
car, we're going to get."
Damn, I didn't know
And
there
that
was
was-
a shop there. Now I gotta swing by.
Yeah, it's good. It's gelato. It's good. But that was the first time I was like, I've never had an affogato. I think I'm gonna get one, and I got it, and I was like, oh man, that
So
was a
your
mistake.
new job moving forward, other than filming, is going to be to remind us to stay on topic, and then also remind us how we got off topic.
And remind us to bring food.
I would like to know how we got here.
I have no idea how we got to ice cream, because we were
Your
talking
chunkies.
about chunky.
Yeah.
But how do
How
we
we
go
got
from that to ice
Chunkies?
cream?
No.
Chunkies to. Oh yeah, you're right. You said Mr. Softy. I don't know.
No.
I think you started.
All right,
it,
what are we drinking now?
All
You're
right.
the catalyst.
So we're going to the Canary Islands.
All right, where's the Canary Islands?
Canary Islands is technically owned by Spain, but it's closer to Africa.
Okay.
I think we figured out 70 miles or so.
Mhm.
But it's so close to Africa where the Saharan winds will blow actual, organic matter over, dust, things like that allow greenery to grow on lava rock. So if you're looking at a hillside or a slope or whatever in the Canaries, and the side that is facing Africa will have succulents and a little bit of green on it. The other side will just be barren lava rock.
Very pretty.
So this is Viñatigo, is the winery. We're on the island of Tenerife, which is the one that's shaped like a duck. And the grape variety is Marmoelo. And so Marmoelo is technically an indigenous or native variety to the islands. But
Oh, wow.
that's kind of like, how can that work, right?
Maybe
It doesn't
a
just
dumb
come out
question.
of the bottom of the ocean.
They speak Spanish here.
They do.
Okay.
They do. So the history of how it got there, there's a few kind of speculations, but this winemaker, whose name's escaping me right this second, he has been huge in cataloging and discovering and saving so many local varieties like Gual, Marmoelo,
Gual is delicious.
varieties you'll never see anywhere outside of the Canaries.
Okay.
So Marmoelo was either brought over in the 14th century by monks or friars, or it could be a natural mutation. It's kind of difficult to trace exactly how it came, but it's one of the parent grapes of Malvasia volcanica.
Okay,
You gotta
good.
put that
So that was
Good.
going to be my question. It's an aromatic varietal.
Very.
Okay, so you said the name is Mamahuela.
Uh-huh. That
Now,
sounded a lot better than what I said.
That translates into something.
huele is to take a sniff of something in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what we tell my daughter when we're drinking wine.
Mhm.
We go, huele, mommy, and she. So I'm wondering if, because it's aromatic, if it got the name of like, it has something to do with that.
Mm.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's very, and then Mama, the mother. You just said it's a mother grape.
No, it's it's Marma though.
Oh, Marma. Oh, okay.
Marma.
But still.
Interesting
Well,
though.
yeah.
Interesting. And then
How do you pronounce the Vignatingo?
Vignatigo.
Vignatigo.
Mm-hmm.
that's really interesting. There was another thing that I wanted to ask. I totally forgot about.
What do you get on the nose?
I haven't figured that out yet.
I mean, there's definitely fruit there, but like I get like a touch of nuttiness to
It's
it. But I can't.
that makes
pinpoint what it
sense. You know what I'm getting? Almost like a rubbery, not like in a bad way, but you know, like kind of maybe petrol is probably what I'm smelling. And this is volcanic,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so I mean that could make sense.
it's fucking delicious.
It's fantastic.
Is in a lot of stores or not?
Not really. They don't make a lot of it,
Okay.
so we got a small amount, maybe 14 cases or so. So it's one of those things where if you don't see it on the shelf, you just have to ask.
I'm sure like Vinoteca's got it, right?
Probably. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but
Is that stainless all? Or?
all stainless. So
It's
it's a little
pretty
tiny with the
round.
leaves. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's got some lees contact.
What blows my mind about Canary Island wine, though, is so you're in the Canary Islands, you're standing there, and all around you have almond trees, you have fig trees,
that's where
and
you get the nuts.
That's the nuts.
yep, and then you have succulents everywhere. I mean,
That's like
succulents.
Sicily.
That's your aromatic.
Yeah.
And for me, a lot of the whites almost have like an aloe leaf type
Yep.
of note to them.
Okay. I know Spain produces like per capita the most olives. They have a lot of olives on the Canary Islands as well, or?
I didn't see very many olives. It's
were
mainly
there?
figs, bananas.
Yeah, she went last year.
I was there in March. I met this guy. He's
Nice.
amazing.
That's awesome.
She got a couple posts on her Instagram. She looked like she had a blast.
I did.
Yeah.
We did 3 or 4 different islands, Tenerife, Lanzarote, and Gran Canaria. So 3 and then 5 different wineries. It was
Wow.
a really incredible experience. They
How many islands make up?
5 or 7.
Oh, okay.
I think 7. They struggled a lot during COVID, as everyone did, but with tourism, it just kind of really
Really?
tanked. So our trip was funded partially by the Spanish government, and they also funded the book that I brought, which is about Canary wine. And if anyone ever wants to learn about Canary Island wine, this book is incredible.
You know what I
Maps,
love about this book?
pictures.
Besides the size.
Yes.
It's very pocket friendly, or not pocket friendly, backpack friendly.
Yep.
The opening quote from Henry IV, "But I faith you have drunk too much canaries, and that's a marvelous searching wine, and it perfumes the blood ere one can say, what's this?"
Who is it?
Henry IV from William
Oh, wow.
Shakespeare. It's a great
Huh.
quote. Great quote. Unless you're a Shakespeare fan, I would have never read it.
No.
Unless it was for that book. But
Delicious. Score.
score 8-9.
You put this in the 8s.
Because I like the viscosity, and
Right.
I can't wait to have food with this.
Price point in a liquor store.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
I guess that I should have known that before. Yeah,
Let me look.
before I
remember.
judge. Because if I'm not wrong, this is under $25. If I'm not wrong.
See, I was gonna go higher.
No, I think this is under 25. I could be wrong though. But that's the thing. Spanish wine, the right ones, still like you
No,
have.
I mean, your Riojas and stuff like that.
Well, that's why I said the right
yeah.
ones. So like you got your Riojas, but then you have your like Penedès and all those, but like, and Prior obviously, but
Yeah.
like after that, those little guys that are producing stuff,
Do
like
you like Pure
no, it's way too old.
Just saying.
It's 16%,
Agree.
and it's just I sweat off the first sip. I sweat, can't do it. But like all the little producers, they still make killer stuff that's like sub $20 or right
Yeah.
at that 25 cap, and it's better than half the shit you'll find in Rioja and Priorat, in my opinion. So
This sits on the shelf at $29.99.
yeah, okay.
So it's, obviously more of a hand sell. But it's something that I nerd out about farming, and I think that people that are wine nerds would really enjoy it from that perspective. It's not weird, it's not funky, it's all flavors
No,
we tasted
it's
in
great.
other wines.
Correct.
8.2
A2.
at that price.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Price is a factor.
Hit me.
It is.
I think I'm really biased. I can't go below 9.8.
Wow.
So all right. So
But I'm so biased.
Let me wait.
But
Well, you've been
what is
there,
a
that
10 for you
helps.
then? Like,
What's
what
a
is
10
it?
for
What's a
me?
10? Like, what was the best white wine you've ever had?
That's a really hard question, and I think I'm gonna have to sit here for a minute.
And where was it
It's
from?
like asking a favorite child.
Like, was it French? Was it Italian? Was it Spanish?
Okay. Okay, favorite wine ever. That's really.
I know.
It's hard. It's
It's
hard.
hard.
Before you tell us this,
Okay.
I'm assuming Spanish is your favorite because you're always like talking about Spanish.
I really like Northern Italy,
Okay.
and I love Champagne. But this trip was just like re-sparked.
It was like a religious experience.
Yeah, kind of. I've been in the industry for a while, and you can get kind of jaded, and
Yeah,
it
for
really
sure.
was an eye-opening.
I'm starting to feel that way where I'm like, I really need to like get there and see it for myself too because I'm going like a
You gotta go.
And talk to the
go
makers.
You gotta go during picking season to really appreciate it. Like,
Right.
we went to
Spinetta.
Spinetta during picking season of their rosé in Tuscany, and we picked. That was fucking eye opening. That was really because I mean like, they are back baskets on your back, comes over your shoulders. You fucking cut and throw type thing. They told me I wasn't allowed to do it after the first 3 or 4 because I cut and threw too far. And I threw a bunch of them on the ground, so it was not good. But we bought a shit ton. We bought like 5 or 6 cases of that wine because that was the year Colin was born.
Oh,
And we
yeah, that's
fucking
right.
pounded that shit. Shit was delicious. Every once in a while now, we'll still like be like, somebody got a 2015 Las Spinetta? And they're like, no, definitely not. I put this at a 9-1. This is
Wow.
fucking delicious, dude. I could drink the fuck
This
out of
is
wine.
a Pat Pasquarello wine.
Yeah.
If
It's
I've
well,
learned your
it's
palate over the
in my
years.
opinion, this is a very chef wine. Like chefy wines are like your Chenin Blancs, your Chablis, your Falanginas, your Fianos, like high acid, just you really want to drink and eat,
But good texture.
but really good texture. You know what I mean? And like for me, it's like this is something that should be on a lot of people's lists.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Like needs to be on their list.
And I mean, it wouldn't be. It would be under
Wouldn't be that
100
bad.
bucks. It would
Yeah.
be under 80 bucks on the list. If
Yeah,
I'm not
I mean maybe
mistaken.
less than that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's totally worth it.
because
If I went to a restaurant and saw this on the menu for 80 or below, I wouldn't even
I'd
think
buy
twice
it.
about
Yeah,
buying it.
and but we're also different. Like what strikes my interest is the fact that I've never heard of it.
Right, a lot
So
of people can be
that
scared.
gets me excited. You know what I mean? Same thing with that pet nat. Like I've never heard of it, and when I see pet nat and I see Finger Lakes, like I'm automatically like I'm in. You know, pour me that.
I also feel like if you have, so say you have a list and it's some really random grape from California, it doesn't strike as hard as Canary Islands.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
it's
course.
just
No,
an incredible
nowhere near.
place that, you don't see often.
What automatically makes you wonder too, because like you may not even know about the Canary Islands, but you automatically know, oh, it's an island.
Right.
Ooh,
And you
know,
get curious
it's
about
got that
it.
mystique to it.
And and for a server or someone that's trying to sell it, there's just so much to talk about. I mean, the fact that it grows basically in rocks
Yeah.
that I brought for y'all. I mean, it just grows in
Yeah,
rocks
you want to show
and
them the
shells.
rocks? I want-
Sure.
Because run me through what are the rocks?
Okay, so this is all lava rock. Came from one of the vineyards. Walking through, and I just stopped and picked up some of their soil, and this guy was just hanging out in the soil.
The
as well.
seashell?
It's a seashell.
That's a beautiful.
That is
Looks like a conch shell.
And
Right.
this came from there. This actually came from
It's
there.
like a
It did.
baby conch.
I mean, for the record, it didn't come in my
Yeah,
I was about to
suitcase,
say,
but yes, it
uh,
did.
TSA let you through, huh?
But yeah, and the weights on them are so different too. So like, depending on what island you're on.
Oh, like density and all that?
Yeah, because some of the islands are older than the others. So I forget if it's the islands that are closest to Africa are the oldest, and as you move out, they get newer. There's active ones that I think we just had an explosion last year.
No, wow.
Eruption.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know which one?
I forget the name.
Because that was my next question. Is there still active volcanoes
Yeah.
over there? Okay.
So you can go to the island of Lanzarote, which some of this came from, and there's a volcano park.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll cook food. They'll dig holes and cook food over the
Underground?
heat that comes up. It's incredible.
That's
It's a
something I
really
need to
amazing
do.
place.
I got a lot of things I got to do in my life.
The Canaries is definitely one of them, and it's a really easy hop. You just fly into Madrid, and then from Madrid to the Canaries, and then you
Fly to
island
Canaries or you drive?
hop.
Drive and then obviously boat it over.
So we flew into Madrid and then flew from Madrid to the Canaries.
Okay.
And then you rent cars on each island, and then you can
Right.
fly between the islands.
Nice.
Oh shit. Now I'm thinking, because we were thinking about for our honeymoon that got canceled, we're thinking about replicating the itinerary and doing Barcelona for that weekend, flying down to Sicily and then up to Tuscany. But now, oh my damn, Canary Islands sounds cool. Then hop right over to Sicily and not go to the mainland, just stay on islands.
Do you guys like hiking?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Canaries are also like really rocky and lots of pine trees. So there's a lot of like mountain biking and hiking, and
Cool.
there's a woman named Olga who I hope I get to be when I grow up, because she's this older woman who does eco and wine tours throughout the Canaries. She's
Very
incredible.
cool.
Well, I've read about a lot of people that have like they found a place that just like grasps them, and
Yeah, of
like
course.
for your instance would be Canaries or whatever, and they've done this for a living, and then one day they're like, I got enough money, I learned Spanish, I'm gonna go get a work visa, and then they literally just start doing
never
everything.
come back.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The best experience while there, though, is you're tasting wine all day and you're starving. And so we went to this tiny little oceanside restaurant, super small. I mean, this office maybe plus one more room. It was the first day being open since COVID, so they had been closed for two years, maybe more. And they come up to you with this, what's the big tray that you make dough on, the big white trays? Like that you put...
Oh, that you put the dough balls in?
Yeah, and put it in the
Just
fridge.
dough proofer.
Okay, so they came out with something like that, and it was just all of these different varieties of fish that they had caught that day.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't do that in the U.S. because, I mean,
Yeah, of course.
health codes, but
Can't do much in the U.S.
and you just pointed at what you wanted, and they went back, and it was just very basically light breading, salt, pepper, beer, and that
That's
was
awesome.
the...
Do they have a Canary Islands beer? Or is it
They
like
do.
Estrella over there? Oh,
They had some Canary Island beer. It was like a basic lager.
Yeah, nice.
That's awesome.
That's like one of the best things about going to an island. Just going to a shack.
Mhm.
Don't go to
Make
the
all that
fancy
stuff.
fucking place. Don't do that. Just go to a shack that's on the water. Doesn't look. It's like going to find tacos here in the U.S. Like just find a shack, go there, and they got the best food. That's all you can ask for.
Same with barbecue and boiled peanuts.
Yep. Oh man, boiled peanuts. I love boiled peanuts.
That's funny. All right, wrapping it up. What else do we want to chat about?
What's been on? So we always ask
Yep.
each other, but what are you drinking on a regular? Like, if you had to go, I guess go through your portfolio, because it's probably better for you to do it that way. What are you taking home nowadays to enjoy?
So I recently just bought 6 bottles of Cellar Pardas Pelapel, which is
You
a skin
talked about
contact. Yeah, skin contact Malvasia, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But it's these two guys.
Spanish, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Spanish Pinades. They're doing similar to what Viñatico is doing, in the sense that trying to protect local indigenous grape varieties from extinction, or just trying to get more awareness about them. So they work with Simol and Malvasia. And I grappled today. I almost brought a Pella Verga, but I didn't. So next time, I owe you guys a Pella Verga.
Love that.
I won't hold it against you. Pardas is the one that does. It has the boar on the red.
Mhm,
Like, where, yeah, that stuff's good. So where can they potentially grab those? Where have you sold it to?
The
Retail.
the Pardas wines, the normal suspects.
Okay.
I don't know what normal suspects means, but Vinoteca, 3 Parks in Athens. 5 Points Bottle Shop.
Okay.
I have to call it Athens.
I was about to say,
Naturally.
yeah, that's where you're located.
And the Lark.
Lark. Is that? That's in Athens.
Yeah,
Got
it's
it, okay.
Krista and Jerry Slater moved from Atlanta to Athens and have started
Nice.
a little wine bar and some other things.
Very
I
cool.
gotta go back to Athens.
Never been.
I only went once on a Friday night because my boy went to UGA, and I don't like talking about that night. It's just a UGA night of going out around town, and that was just a lot.
So Athens has some really great hidden gems if you avoid
I've heard the culinary scene's
student-driven
fantastic.
thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and the fact that there's a wine bar now is cool because I know it's obviously like a very hip town, so there's a lot of I imagine a lot of fun different wines out there too that people are bringing in. So.
I mean, in Georgia, Atlanta obviously is a really dominant market for us, and then Athens and Savannah,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
naturally.
Yeah, we got
Very
it.
cool.
What's that? I always ask you this, but it's like what, 2 hours from here?
It took me an hour and 15 minutes to get here today.
It's
From
not bad.
Athens.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad.
If you go, off rush hour time.
Right. Alejandro lives there too.
He does.
You said he's right down the road from you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you live in Athens.
I do.
Yeah, she does.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I believe a lot in what specialty does, so I'm willing
Yeah.
to travel and build it up and make it a thing.
Very cool.
I know.
Awesome. What else you got?
I got nothing except for that I was very happy that you brought these wines.
Yes, me too.
Because I don't remember, I know you've talked about that wine to me for that brief moment we went of not trying only Italian wines.
Right.
And because I know I've had that. I don't even know if you brought it to me, but I know I've had it. And then I don't know if I've had that before, but that was great. And I hate to be cliche, but that to me is the most perfect paella wine I've probably
fine.
ever had. But I hate to be cliche, but to me, as soon as I tasted it, I was like, paella.
That's what we did on the last day of the Canaries. It was Canary Island wine, and paella in the middle of a vineyard, which is a giant lava field.
Which is fucking sick.
That's awesome.
What you got? Anything?
Nothing, man. I switched my my drinking habits lately, so I don't drink a lot anymore. But when I do drink, I'm going American whites, right? And I'm going Northern Italian whites.
Okay, please do explain the American whites and what American whites.
Mathiasen is where I'm at right now, right? Because I just like everything he does, and I'm really upset that I missed his his thing. But I'm gonna start really getting in deep in Oregon and Washington and see if they have anything cool there. But like I want to get into more Kerners, some Mueller Thurgaus, and I want to really start drinking some stuff from up there.
Have you had the Kerner that's at Whitewell?
I don't know. What is it?
Koferhoff?
I'm pretty sure I have. Is it by the glass?
No, it's by the bottle.
No, I haven't had it.
There's a producer called Dold, Dolde, that has an amazing Kerner.
Really?
From
Alto DJ?
Trentino?
no, I think it's from. Oh, I don't even remember. Austria.
Austria's probably Austria then, right?
I'm searching for a super high end, not normal Pinot Grigio. That's what I'm searching for next. Yerman, or whatever it is, they make a fantastic one, but not like, I want to see what else is out there. I was the asshole in Connecticut when we had my restaurant there that Pinot Grigio was not allowed on the list. The only one you had on the list was the Yerman, and it was $90 a bottle. For that reason.
Yeah, we.
You want it? Here it is.
Yep.
Pay $100. But I want to get into that.
Where are you going to get them?
I've been doing a lot of research online right now, but I haven't purchased many of them. The Mathiasen we just had from Christmas, but everything else now I'm going to start really diving in deep and just figuring out where I'm going to buy them all from.
Okay.
Probably going to have to look at Primal online.
You just missed it. They just had a sale.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that, and then I'm just going to start hitting you up, and you're going to start hitting all them up.
I was about to say, that's why I asked. I was like, he hasn't told me to grab anything.
Yeah.
I've seen Primal pop up online.
Yeah.
What exactly is it?
So Primal
They
was...
do a lot with Scola.
They were my introduction to Scuola di Vino. So primalwine.com is basically, he was smart. I mean, it's an Italian guy who runs it. His name's Guido. And he basically is out of California, I think San Fran. But it's a wine website and you can get it shipped to you. This was before pandemic. I was drinking his wine in like 2018. And it's just all natural wines. Heavy on Italian, of course, but he has everywhere. And you basically just order your wine there. But he has stuff that like you can't get here.
Where is it based out of? Do you know? Because I was
Cali.
in. Oh, okay.
He's out of Cali.
Okay.
I think San Fran, to be specific.
But I don't know if he actually holds inventory.
He does. I've spoken
He
to
does?
him.
Okay.
He holds inventory. He has. At first, he started where he had an apartment and a room was full of cases of wine.
Okay.
Or a couple of rooms, and then he got big enough to where he moved to like a
See, you gotta
separate
look
building.
into something. I bet you can create a wine. I bet you can create a website where you're just the broker, and when you get an order, it goes to the actual importer, and the importer just ships them directly.
Yeah, like drop shipping.
Yeah, same exact way.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea for juiceboys.juice.
Right. I feel like that. I feel like that could be a thing. You know, where you're just basically the website.
I mean, America has lifted shipping alcohol because of COVID, like pretty heavily. I mean, there's some states still that are just locked down, but I'm sure there might be a way to fulfill via somebody like that nowadays.
Well, there's right now in Georgia, technically, there's Starbright. That's basically just a website, wine shop, and then the Pine Wine Selections is another
You just
one.
go on there and get it shipped to your house, or are they shipping nationwide?
So
Georgia is a state where you
think
can
have
ship
to
out.
pick it up from somewhere with a license.
Got it.
But I haven't delved.
Oh,
too
so
far.
you're saying it's for industry?
So it's a general consumer can go onto the website.
Oh, when you say
and
license,
buy
you
it.
mean
And
a
then
21 and up
and
ID.
pick it up
Got
at
it.
Whiteboard or pick it up at
Right.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Kind of like the farm.
Yeah, it's like a farm share ish, but a wine share.
Yeah,
It's like a wine share.
But you actually got to go to the website and buy it. Kind of like Carlton.
Okay, yeah. That's interesting. It's a step closer.
Yeah.
I know Georgia's one of the states where you can ship to and out of.
Now, if we could just get Georgia to drop the 3-tier.
Ain't
Don't
never
do that.
happened.
Really?
No,
No,
they
because then you guys can import and distribute.
How does?
Because right now you have to have an importer and a distributor.
Mm.
But like Connecticut was importer. No, I need a distributor too.
No, New York.
New York's importer can like Skurnik is an importer and it could also sell.
So there's some examples.
Skirnick's got their own shop in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's some examples of distributors that, this might be a dumb question, but some examples of distributors that also have an import arm. But I guess their main hub isn't Georgia based.
It's not.
I
So
see.
like they import into Jersey or New York, or like I believe Sour Grapes imports into South Carolina.
Okay.
Because that's where they're based
And
out
then
of.
they
It's the
distribute
Carolinas and Georgia.
Right.
I could be wrong. But yeah, I know that like Bonvin Steven, because I was asking him, I was curious, and he said he imports to Jersey and then it gets shipped down here.
Okay.
And
I didn't realize
that's
he was
how it
importing.
works. Yeah, he's importer and distributing. Yep.
He has a little Portuguese sparkler that's so good. I forget the name.
He told me about it. I mean, I didn't want to waste his time to taste it, obviously, but he told me about it. He's apparently got this killer Chilean stuff right now, too, that I want to try. I love Chilean. I've converted him to South American wine.
South America is about to pop off, I think.
Hell yeah.
Good.
Hell yeah. I mean,
Yeah, hopefully it's not just shitty Malbec.
No, they're about to pop off because it's not Malbec finally.
There's
Good.
people like Steve Mathiasen that are taking similar approaches and trying to kind of revive
Good.
the wine scene.
Love that.
Like the ones you had.
Love that.
Those guys kill it.
They did kill it.
Yeah. So.
Anything else? Catch you next week.
Yeah.
Awesome.
For another one.
Lara,
Another
thank you
juicy
so
one.
much.
No, thank you guys.
Thank you, Lara.
This was awesome.
You're incredible. Thanks, guys.